All right, cool. Welcome back. One last video for video lecture 10. We're going to talk a little bit about some word problems that lead us to solve a linear system. Okay. So you'll see these in your ALEKS homework. They'll be posed as solving a word problem with two unknowns using a linear equation. Okay. So go ahead and give yourself a moment to write this first one down. We've got Gabby's age is 3 times Mikhail's age. The sum of their ages is 64. What is Mikhail's age? Okay. Main thing we're going to do is we're going to look to write an equation based on what it says, right? We practiced this previously. Can we write an equation? And then we're going to look to solve it. It's asking us a question of being able to solve. Okay. So first thing we need to do is we need to understand that we need to define our variables. What variables are we using and what do they mean? Okay, so let's read the first sentence. Gabby's age is 3 times Mikhail's age. Do we know Gabby's age? No. Do we know Mikhail's age? No. Those are our two variables. Okay, you can choose whatever letters you want. G and M are what I'm going to pick. So instead of X and Y, I'm just going to be using G and M. So G is going to stand for Gabby's age. And M is going to stand for Mikhail's age. All right. So I'm going to use those letters now to try and write some equations. So it says Gabby's age is 3 times Mikhail's age. How should we write that? So Gabby's age is a G. The word is refers to equals, yeah? And 3 times Mikhail's age. I think you know what to write. 3M. So G is the same thing as 3M. I want you to think right now, are we probably going to graph this thing? Are we going to use substitution? Are we going to use elimination? Since we know that G is equivalent to 3M. Next sentence, the sum of their ages is 64. So a sum refers to adding, and we're adding their ages together, and it equals 64. So we're going to do G plus M equals 64. And we want to know how old is Mikhail, right? Well, I asked the question earlier, right? We've got this system. We've got two linear equations. We've got to use graphing, substitution, or elimination. We have G solved, right? We know that G is the same thing as 3M. So we can go down to the second equation and replace that G. So we're going to transform G plus M equals 64. We're going to transform that into 3M plus M equals 64. We know that G is the same thing as 3M. We can replace that G. Keep solving, right? We got 3M plus another M. We get 4M equals 64. Dividing by 4. We get 16. So what is Mikhail's age? Mikhail's age is 16. We didn't have to finish it off. But if we were asked to, we'd have to find Gabby's age. Yes. What would we do? Plug that back in. We would need to do 3 times this, and we can figure out how old Gabby was. Okay. All right. Moving on. I got a second one. Go ahead and give yourself a second to write this down. We've got a washer and dryer that costs $554 combined. The washer costs $76 less than the dryer. What is the cost of the dryer? So again, let's define our variables. Washer and dryer, so W and D sound good to me. This is representing the cost of the washer, and D is representing the cost of the dryer. All right. First sentence, a washer and dryer cost $554 combined. Combined suggests we're going to add these two things together. So W plus D equals 554. And then it goes on to say that the washer costs $76 less than the dryer. So the washer is equal to 76 less than the dryer. We gotta make sure we get this in the right order, right? Do we want to do 76 minus D or D minus 76? Think about that for a second. It seems like the dryer is more expensive, right? So it'd be dryer minus $76. Okay. Should we use substitution, elimination, or graphing with this one? Again, we're going to use substitution. We've got W solve for itself. Instead of writing a W in the other equation, we can write D minus 76. And that's going to be really nice because everything's going to be in terms of dryer, and that's what we're going to solve for. Okay. So W plus D equals 554. We're going to replace that W with D minus 76 plus D equals 554. I'm going to bring this up here, ran out of room. We can combine those 2D minus 76 equals 554. Add 76 to both sides. We get 630. And then dividing by 2. We have a $315 super cheap dryer. All right. Again, be sure to go give those a try. Bring all the questions you got for class. Main thing is being able to write those sentences, right? And then once you've got that, the rest is probably pretty straightforward. For class, I've got a system written down there with those two equations. I want you to solve the system with any method that you would like and explain why you picked that method. Okay? Bring anything you need to class. Great job today. I'll see you for the next one.